Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for Miami and Texas A&M. The first playoff game we have today. Texas A&M has the ball first. I'm on a few minutes later than I want it to be. The game started a few minutes ago. A&M currently has the ball on the Miami 42. And now make it the 36 as they complete a pass of about 6 yards. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Got Miami and Texas A&M in the second playoff game. Obviously, Alabama beat Oklahoma last night. But we were scoreless about 4 minutes in, 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. But welcome to the stream. Let me pull up the chat, put out a poll. But it's a 2nd and 4 here for Texas A&M. Reed, quick throw to the outside. That pass is caught, but he's got nowhere to go, and he's taken down for a loss of about 2, maybe 3 on the play. Alright, there's the poll, so be sure to vote on that. But we got Miami and Texas A&M. It's a 3rd and 7. I took Texas A&M in this game. I forget the exact score I said. I'll check that in a second. But I did take Texas A&M. Also put this up. Forgot about that. But it's a 3rd and 7. Marcel Reed going to hand it off here. And they're not going to get much. A gain of about a yard. So that's an interesting play call right there. Because that could signal they're to go for it on 4th down. Which, I mean, makes a lot of sense because you're not going to kick a field goal from here. It's way too far for that. And you're not going to punt from here either. So it's 4th and 6. They will go for it. Reed and shotgun back to his right. A&M the 4th best 4th down team in the country, converting 12 of 16 tries. But before this 4th down play, we got a timeout called by Miami. But the winner of this game will take on Ohio State in the second round. So a tough matchup again. Alright, let me check my score prediction while they're at a commercial here. I know I took Texas A&M, but I don't remember the score I said. Let me pull that up. I took Texas A&M 27-21. But I definitely think this is going to be a pretty good game. I didn't expect last night's game to be that good. But ended up being pretty entertaining. But we got 9:23 to go in the opening quarter. It's a 4th and 6 for Texas A&M on the Miami 38-yard line. Texas A&M most likely going to go for it here on 4th down. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Be sure to vote in the poll if you guys have not already done so. So far, 67% have said Texas A&M, 33% have said Miami. I took Texas A&M to win by a score of 27-21. But I think this should be a pretty good game. This was the toughest first-round game for me to predict because it could really go either way because both these teams are pretty similar. I mean, they're great up front, good defenses, but I just took A&M because they're at home, and I trust Marcel Reed a little bit more than I trust Carson Beck because, although, I mean, both can be turnover-prone. But it's a 4th down and 6 for Texas A&M. So let's see. We got Reed in shotgun, a back one to his right. From the 38, they're going to get to the 32 for a first down. Now they shift the formation. Reed in shotgun back to his left now. And we got two guys moving early. That's going to be a false start. That'll back him up 5. So yeah, it's a false start going against Texas A&M. That'll back them up 5, and they'll probably punt it now. They call it on the left tackle. And now it will be a punt for Texas A&M. So Miami will get the ball for their first possession. And the punt away cleanly. And it is going to bounce out of bounds inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So a pretty good punt there for Texas A&M. So Carson Beck and the offense onto the field. 9:17 to go in the first quarter. And we'll see what Miami can do for their first possession. Texas A&M a decent drive on their first drive. They would move the football a little bit, but then they punt it away. It ends up being a 12-play, 32-yard drive. They took 5:43 off the clock, ended in a punt. But Carson Beck and the Miami offense onto the field. Miami scoring 34.1 points per game. That's 20th in the country. And they're averaging 275 passing yards per game, also 20th in the country. Carson Beck's thrown for 3,072 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But really with him, you know what kind of game you're going to get pretty quickly. It's either going to be pretty good, or it's going to be bad with all the turnovers. But Miami's offense onto the field for their first possession. Again, be sure to vote if you've not already done so. So far, 62% have said Texas A&M, 38% have said Miami. Hold on 1 second. Alright. But Miami going to get the ball for their first possession. Back to pretty deep inside their own territory. Carson Beck, a career record of 34-5. Thrown for just shy of 11,000 yards in his career. 3,000 of them have come this season. It's in his third year as a starting quarterback. Last 2 at Georgia. This year, his first year at Miami. So a 1st and 10 for Miami. On their own 8-yard line, Beck in shotgun back to his left. And Carson Beck throws the outside. That pass caught. And he'll be wrapped up after getting about 3. So it brings up 2nd and about 7. With 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. They empty the backfield here for Carson Beck. Oh, sorry, there's a guy behind him. I didn't see him. And they're going to run the ball here for the first time to the left side, and it's a pretty good run, as they'll pick up about close to 7 yards. And let's see, they're going to give him a first down. They will give him a first down. Mark Fletcher with the carry, and they move the sticks. So a first down here for Miami. Got the ball on their own 18. And now they go Wildcat here. Malachi Tony going to take the direct snap, fakes pitching it back, and now he's going to run it to the right side, and Tony is going to gain about 2. He has been so good for Miami this year. True freshman, former high school quarterback as well. But Miami really gets creative with the way they use him. Sorry about the dog barking, if you can hear that. So it's a 2nd and 8, Beck in shotgun, Fletcher to his left. They bring Tony in motion, and Beck throws to the other side quickly, and gain of about 3 on the play. So it'll bring up a 3rd and about 5 for Miami, their first third down of the day. Texas A&M, the best third down defense in the country, allowing conversions just 22%. So it's 3rd and 5. Miami converts 47%. That's 4th best in the ACC. Beck going to look to throw. Has time, throws over the middle. It's knocked down and incomplete. A little bit behind the receiver. And the Texas A&M defense going to force a punt on Miami's first drive. I think Mario Cristobal wants a flag. No, I don't think there should have been a flag right there. Beck also threw it behind the receiver. If he throws it out in front, he might have a chance for first down. It's a high snap on the punt, but it is away. Casey Concepcion, a dangerous returner, not going to get a chance to return this one as it goes out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So both teams punt on their first drive. And Texas A&M with pretty good field position here for their second possession, as they'll start it on their own 38. That first drive from Miami, they go 5 plays, 15 yards. And now Texas A&M will get the ball back on their first drive, 24 rushing yards, 13 passing yards. Le'Veon Moss is also back for Texas A&M. He's missed a lot of time this year, although it was really good before he got hurt. He played in the first 6 games, has missed the last 6. He has 6 touchdowns on the season. 3 of them came in their win against Notre Dame. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. We'll get the football back. Hold on 1 second. Alright, but we still wait for them to come back from commercial. We got 6:27 to go in the first quarter. But still a scoreless game after each team's had the ball once. And we'll see what Texas A&M can do on their second possession. So they're back from commercial here. A&M with the football on their own 38-yard line. So Reed in shotgun here. Ruben Owens is the back line to his left. They bring Casey Concepcion in motion, and they are going to fake it to him. Reed can keep it on the jet sweep, and he swung down for getting about 5. Up to 19 rushing yards already. Running behind a very experienced offensive line. The least experienced guy is their center, who still started 26 games. This is definitely one of the best offensive lines in the country. So it's a 2nd and 4. They actually gave Reed 6 on the scramble, or on the first down run. We'll look to throw here. Reed, with plenty of time, throws the outside for Ruben Owens, makes a man miss. Owens gets inside Miami territory to the 49-yard line. So there's a first down for Texas A&M as they move the sticks. But a nice play right there. So Reed in shotgun back to his right. Reed going to look to throw. Reed pressured here. Drifting left, throwing over the middle. Open receiver. Wide open down to the 31-yard line. He finds one of the tight ends. And they move the sticks again. That's a 19-yard pickup right there. Marcel Reed with just enough time right there to drift to his left and deliver an accurate throw. Reed throws the outside here, and not much space after the catch, so he'll dance around, and he's out of bounds pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Mario Craver with the catch right there. Really cooled off after a hot start to the year, but still a good receiver. We got 4:21 to go in the first quarter. Game still scoreless. Texas A&M outgaining Miami 70-15. Reed fakes it to nobody. Now rolls to his left. Ball came out. They're going to rule it incomplete. But that could have been a big play. I'm not sure if that was a design play to fake it to nobody. I would assume probably not. Oh man, they ruled incomplete very quickly, but I'm not sure that's incomplete. That could be a fumble. Oh man. That could be a fumble. Because arm's going back, he gets hit. I think that might be a fumble. And they do rule it a fumble. It's Miami football. Wow. They ruled incomplete very quickly on the field. But then they've reversed it. It is now a fumble. And Miami takes over the football on the 32-yard line. So Beck gonna hand it off here. Fletcher to the right side. Fletcher, wow, he almost broke free right there. As it is, run of 9 yards. But if Mark Fletcher was there to break that tackle or make that guy miss, he might be gone. He had a lot of space off the right side. He's probably gone if he breaks that tackle. But it's a 1st and 10 here. So they actually give him 10 on the first down run. And here's another Wildcat look as Tony hands off. Up the middle for a gain of about 3. Lofton with the carry right there. Second time we've seen them go Wildcat today. Now Carson Beck back quarterback. So Beck in shotgun. They bring Tony in motion. And they're going to hand it to Tony's going to look to throw. Malachi Tony going to let one go deep down the field. And it is incomplete. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 9. They were trying to have Malachi Tony throw it. He's a former quarterback. But he got pressured, so he wasn't able to get much into the throw. And it comes up short. So it brings up a 3rd down and 7. Miami 0 for 1 on 3rd down. Play clock at 1 here. They'll get the play off. And no, they won't get the play off. Miami going to call timeout first. They got it off. Mario Cristobal calls timeout on the sideline. And it's 3rd and 7. So it's 3rd down and 7 with 2:46 to go in the first quarter. It's already the second timeout Miami's used here in the first quarter. They also called one before the 4th down that Texas A&M almost ran before their fall started. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. It is a 3rd and 7 for Texas A&M. Trying to capitalize off the turnover. Oh, sorry, for Miami. Why do I keep confusing the two? But it's a 3rd and 7 for Miami. And they just showed the stats before. Let me see if I can pull it up. But the turnover margins for both teams are pretty one-sided. For Miami, they've got a +9 turnover margin, which is tied for 13th best in the country. But for Texas A&M, they're at -7, which is 113th in the country. So pretty one-sided. But Texas A&M, they have definitely turned the ball over their fair share of times. Miami has too, but they just force a lot of turnovers defensively. But both quarterbacks actually thrown 10 interceptions on the year. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Game still scoreless. Late in the first quarter. Ball is currently on the Miami 45-yard line. We got 2:46 to go in the first quarter. Again, be sure to vote in the poll if you guys have not already done so. So far, 62% have said Texas A&M, 38% have said Miami. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. It is a 3rd and 6 for Miami. Beck in shotgun. Fletcher is the back one to his right. Here's a quick throw to the outside for Tony. He's going nowhere. Malachi Tony slammed down for a loss of a yard. The A&M defense gets a stop. And I wonder if Miami is potentially thinking 4-down territory right there with that screen call. But they lose a yard. And now the most likely punt. Yeah, if they ended up getting like half what they needed right there and made it 4th and 3, I wouldn't have been surprised to see them go for it. But now it's 4th and 7 from inside their own territory and they'll punt. So the punt is away. Casey Concepcion from the 16. Oh, he muffed it! He muffs the punt. He's able to get it back. But that could have been a disaster for Texas A&M. He stood on fair catch about the 17-yard line, but did not catch the ball cleanly. But he is able to dive on it at about the 13. Oh, it hit him in the face mask. And then bounced off. But A&M is able to keep possession. Otherwise, that would have been a terrible turnover right there. They already just turned the ball over, and then they would have given Miami the ball inside the 10-yard line, or inside the red zone. Not necessarily inside the 10. But A&M still with possession here. They hand the ball off. I believe that's Le'Veon Moss right there with the carry. Gained about 4, maybe 5 yards. So it's a 2nd and 6. Reed in shotgun. Moss motions out of the backfield. And Reed going to look to throw. Reed gets pressured, steps up, but he's got space to run. Marcel Reed first down. He's out of bounds at the 26-yard line. We've already seen him be an effective runner in this game. Now A&M going with some tempo here. On the ball quickly. Reed, gonna hand it off. Moss to the left side, he goes nowhere. Lost a yard, maybe 2 on the play. As he's taken down back at the 25. Ruben Bain with the tackle. And brings up 2nd down. We got 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Potentially the final play upcoming right here. So it's 2nd and 12 from the 25. Reed will look to throw. And throw underneath. That is a wide throw and incomplete. So there will be another play here in the first quarter. A pretty bad throw right there from Marcel Reed. I mean, still could have been caught, but off target. So it is 3rd and 12. With 14 seconds left in the first quarter. Reed in shotgun back to his left. Reed going to look to throw. Gets pressured. Reed on the run. Throws the flat for the tight end. And he's got nowhere to go after the catch. He was taken down at the line of scrimmage. And that also brings us to the second quarter. But we reached the end of the first quarter. The game is still scoreless. Tied at 0. And Texas A&M going to punt it away to Miami on the first play of the second quarter. So I'll just move that ball marker now, because I know if I don't, I'll probably forget. But it's a scoreless first quarter. Although it does seem like A&M was slightly better. And they ended up outgaining Miami 81-28 in the first quarter. They have more passing yards and more rushing yards than Texas A&M. Or sorry, than Miami. Why do I keep confusing them? Really, the only difference right now is the turnover. Because, I mean, Texas A&M, they were moving the ball before they turned it over. And then they were able to get it back enough to not allow any points off the turnover. Alright, bug came flying in here. But yeah, they were able to get it back and not allow any points off the turnover. But then I mean, who knows what they would have done on that drive. And also the false start. So really the two mistakes are really the difference in the game right now, because you don't know what would have happened if they didn't turn the ball over, or if they didn't false start and they could have potentially converted on that fourth down. But we wait for them to come back from commercial as we enter the second quarter. Again, be sure to vote in the poll if you guys have not already done so. So far, 57% have said Texas A&M, 43% have said Miami. But Carson Beck in that first quarter, 3 of 4 for 5 yards. Impressive stuff right there. And Marcel Reed, 8 of 11 for 41 yards. And he also ran 4 times for 24 yards. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial as we enter the second quarter. But a defensive game so far. And I mean, both defenses are really good, but I would not expect this game to be super low scoring. Alright, so they're back from commercial. So A&M will punt here on the first play of the second quarter. On 4th and 11. Malachi Tony back deep to receive. Obviously very dangerous with the ball in his hands. So the punt is away. And Tony will field it at the 30. Make a guy miss. Tony trying to spin away from another, but then he swung down at the 34. So A&M does a pretty good job with the coverage on that punt, as it's just a gain of about 4 yards. So 1st and 10 here for Miami. Decent starting field position at the 34. So Beck in the pistol, they want Malachi Tony behind him, and they hand it off to Tony. And he'll get 3, maybe 4. Malachi Tony, obviously, they get really creative with how they use him. I believe he was the team's leading receiver in the regular season. But he also returns punts. He does a lot. We pull up his numbers on the season. But it's a 2nd and 6 here for Miami. Beck gonna look to throw. Have time, gonna take a shot deep down the field. Got a receiver, and he overthrew him. Carson Beck misses a big play downfield, and it's incomplete to make it 3rd and 6. Wow. Carson Beck had a receiver who got past the defense, and he overthrew him. I mean, it is windy there, so that's kind of understandable, but a big miss for Carson Beck right there. Apparently, the wind is swirling at 14 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. So that could be something to watch, especially in the kicking game for both teams. Beck gets pressured here. Ball came out. Ball is on the ground. Miami is able to recover it back at the 32, but they get another stop on 3rd down, and they'll get the ball right back as defense forces a 3 and out. But Carson Beck loses the football here. A&M brought pressure on 3rd down. They do that a lot. And they force almost turnover, but they force the fumble, get a stop. And they'll get the ball back to the offense. When one of their linemen had a chance to pick it up, it went right through his hands. They come after the punt here. It's a... Oh, man. Casey Concepcion got hit as he caught that. Didn't call a fair catch. As he catches the ball at the 30-yard line. But he holds on to the ball that time. I'm not sure how he held on to this. That was a huge hit. I also don't know why you wouldn't call fair catch. Man. He got crushed right at the 30-yard line. But he's able to hold on to the ball, so it's still Texas A&M football. So Marcel Reed in the pistol. Ruben Owens is the back behind him. Reed fakes it to Owens, gonna look to throw. Reed steps up, he goes deep. Downfield, wide open! Craver juggles it. Oh, he dropped it. Wait, Craver drops this. I think this is gonna be a catch and a fumble, though. He juggled it originally. They're gonna rule that a catch, and he's out of bounds at the 11-yard line. But Craver does not catch this cleanly. Then he catches it. Oh, that's definitely a catch. But wow. They're able to make the play at the 11-yard line. And here's Owens to the right side. And he'll gain about a yard. But they give him 69 yards in that play. That gets down to the 11-yard line. Now here is a 2nd and 9. We just saw Miami miss a big play downfield. But A&M able to hit their big play. And the first time either side got the ball into the red zone. 2nd and 9. Bring a receiver in motion. Reed will look to throw. Reed steps up. Reed rolling to his left. On the run. Reed throws. End zone incomplete. So it brings up 3rd and 9. Marcel Reed just kind of threw that one away. So 3rd down and 9. A&M in a spot to potentially get the game's first points. So 3rd and 9. Reed and shotgun got it back to his right. Play clock at 2. They'll get the play off. Miami brings 3. Reed throws underneath. It is caught for a gain of 5, but still well short of a first down. And it brings up 4th and 4. Terry Bussey makes the catch. And it'll be a field goal try for A&M. I still don't understand why you throw the ball short of the sticks on a third down. Especially on a third down like that, where you're probably not going to go for it on fourth down. So 4th and 4, a 22-yard field goal attempt. And the field goal got blocked. Miami blocks it, and now they have it run the other way. And they're going to get forced out of bounds. It looks like the 13-yard line. But the kick gets blocked. And the game stays scoreless. Looks like Ruben Bain's the guy who tipped it. Yeah, I think so. So Texas A&M, they stay off the board as Miami blocks the field goal. And we saw something very similar happen in the start of the game for Texas A&M against Texas. They also had a blocked field goal. That was a little longer than 22. That was, I'll look it up, probably about 35 for that one. But the game stays scoreless. And Miami takes over the 13. Let's see. The game against Texas. Hold on, I clicked on the wrong game. That was a missed field goal that came at the end of the first quarter, as opposed to in the second quarter. But that was a 35-yard field goal that got blocked. But still a similar situation fairly early in the game. A&M has a field goal try to get blocked. So now Miami takes over at the 13. And we'll see what they can do it for their next possession. But kicking has been a problem for Texas A&M all year long. Pulling up the numbers right now. They're 15 of 24. Now 15 of 25 on field goals on the year. That is terrible. They have not made a kick longer than 49 yards. And they're 5 for 11 from at least 40. My prediction, I took Texas A&M, I think 27-21 or 27-20. I forgot now. At this rate, it doesn't seem like 7-0's out of the question. Yeah, really. Yeah, I took A&M 27-21. Yeah, it looks like you might see some points right there, but then the kick obviously got blocked. It was a very low kick. So Miami with the football here on their own 13-yard line. Beck turns around and hands off to Fletcher. He's got a lot of space. Fletcher makes a man miss. Has a first down and a lot more. Mark Fletcher getting about 17. He's run it 3 times for 34 yards. Now Randy Bond, the other kicker for Texas A&M, starting to get loose over on the sideline. Although he has not been good this year either. Here's a quick throw to Tony, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle. Stopping him for no gain. But Randy Bond is starting to warm up over on the sideline. He was terrible in the regular season, 61% on field goals, which is worse than the SEC. So 2nd and 11 here for Miami. They actually gave him a loss of a yard there on first down. Another handoff, Fletcher. This time, he stopped for only about 3. So it brings up a 3rd and long here for Miami. Against the best 3rd down defense in the country. Definitely not a great spot to be in. So 3rd down and 8. We got 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Beck in shotgun. Fletcher to his left. Makes a check at the line. And Miami is going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout in the first half. With still 9:28 to go. Unless they're going to just take the delay right here. No, they're going to take the delay. So Miami's going to take the delay a game. And it backs them up to a 3rd and 13. Good to see you, man. Hopefully we got some good games today. Yeah, hopefully. Good to see you as well. This game's pretty close so far. Hopefully at some point we see some scoring. So 3rd and 13. Beck. Pressured. Shovel pass it forward to the tight end. And we'll pick up about 3 or 4. But it brings up 4th down. And another 3rd down stop for the Texas A&M defense. So it's 4th and 9. And it'll be a punt. So it's another punt for for Miami. The punt is away. And Concepcion this time calls fair catch at the 27. That's actually Terry Bussey returning that punt. Interesting to see Casey Concepcion not back there. But Terry Bussey calls fair catch. And we'll see what A&M can do for their next drive. But we're still scoreless here. 8:16 to go in the first half. And the A&M defense playing really well. Miami, they've got 49 total yards and 0 points. Miami has run 16 plays. And they're averaging 3 yards a play. They're also over 4 on 3rd down. And for A&M, they've moved the ball more effectively. They're up to 146 yards, 105 passing, 41 rushing. And they're averaging 5.6 yards per play. And they also obviously had that big pass play on the last drive, but then they had the drive stall in the red zone and missed a field goal. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. And we'll see what Texas A&M can do on this next drive. And with the way it's going, you'd expect them to get some points somewhat soon, but you never know. Because it also definitely could have been on the last drive, but they missed a field goal. Alright, so they're back from commercial. And some mistakes for Texas A&M today. Marcel Reed as well as a fumble. They've muffed a punt, but got it back. And they also had a 22-yard field goal attempt blocked. And they also false started on a 4th down in their first drive, which forced them to punt. So, I mean, they've kind of prevented themselves from being in the lead right now. I mean, they've moved the ball pretty effectively. Their defense is dominating. But a 1st and 10 here for A&M. And they're going to go with the run. Ruben Owens. Not much. Maybe a yard. And it brings up 2nd down. So it's 2nd and 10 with 7:50 to go in the first half. So Reed in shotgun. Owens to his left. Another handoff. Owens up the middle. This time he's got space. He stumbles, keeps his balance. And Owens going to pick up about 8. Make it 3rd and a lot more manageable for Texas A&M. Oh, Owens goes like limping off the field. Hopefully he's okay. So E.J. Smith comes into the game at running back, standing to the left of Marcel Reed. And we got a flag that comes in here, and we're going to get, looks like a false start. Yeah, false start against Texas A&M. That is the 2nd time we've seen a false start against Texas A&M on a pretty big play. We saw it on a 4th down before, and now here on 3rd and short. Makes it 3rd and 7. So 3rd and 7. 6:45 to go in the 2nd quarter. Marcel Reed in shotgun with the back to his right. They motion a tight end across the formation, and Reed will look to throw. It's a swing pass out for Smith, and it's going to make a guy miss. E.J. Smith, oh, he just got tripped up. Wow, if he didn't get tripped up right there, he's got a 1st down. But a shoestring tackle made right there by the Miami defense, and they're going to force another punt. Wow, he just grabbed his ankle. That's a great tackle. It saves the 1st down and forces another punt. So we got another punt. And this one will be fielded by Malachi Tony at the 20-yard line. And Tony makes a guy miss. Directs traffic. Tony gets to the sideline. Down the sideline goes Tony. Malachi Tony inside the 30 is stripped up at the 25. He almost took that all the way. But Malachi Tony, a huge return for Miami. And let's see if they can capitalize off that and put the first points on the board. But what a return. He almost took that all the way. He brought it back from the 20. They made a couple guys miss. And once he got pretty much to the outside. I thought he was gone, but he just got tripped up. I don't even know he got touched by an A&M defender. I think he might have tripped over himself. Oh no, he might have gotten touched by the defender. But wow, that's a huge play, huge tackle. Now, instead of the touchdown, Miami's got the ball at the 25. There's a handoff to Fletcher to the left side. And a gain of a yard. So it's 2nd and 9. 5 minutes to go, a little over, in the first half. Alright, we got the right side of the offensive line lined up out wide. They bring Tony in motion. They pitch it to him. And Tony gonna gain a yard. So an interesting formation right there. And they got creative. Just for a gain of a yard. So it is now 3rd and about 8 here for Miami. It's your Carson Beck. You do not want to take a sack and make this a more difficult field goal. So Beck in shotgun, back to his left. Again, the play clock is winding down. They'll get the play off. Beck gets pressured quickly, and he gets dropped for a sack. Carson Beck taken down back at the 29-yard line. And a quick possession for Miami again. They stay without a conversion on 3rd down. I believe they're now 0 for 5. Might be 0 for 6 at this point. But another blitz from the A&M defense on 3rd down. And here's a field goal try from 47. Not an easy one right here. But a 47-yarder to get him on the board. And the kick is blowing in the wind. And it is no good. It drifted all the way across. It got kicked from the left hash. Ended up being wide right. As that just carried all the way with the wind. And it stays scoreless. So now both teams have missed a field goal. And we're still scoreless with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. At this rate, we might head into overtime tied at like 0. Man, the wind really took that one. There's actually only 3.5 minutes left in the first half. We might actually go to halftime tied at 0. Let's see, I wonder if there's ever been a college football playoff game that was tied at 0 at halftime. Let's see, I've pulled this up. This says never been a national championship game. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a playoff game. I would say probably not. Alright, so according to this, there has never been a college football playoff game in the playoff era. So since 2014, that's been tied at halftime. This one could be the first. But A&M does get pretty good field position right here. And maybe they can capitalize off that. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. The game is still scoreless, with 3:30 to go in half number 1. A&M's going to get the ball back on... Let's see, their own 29. I thought it would have been better. How is it their own 29 if it was a 47-yard field goal? I'm not sure. But Texas A&M with the ball back. Oh, wow, they cut back to this play very late. Reed on the run here, and he's going to scramble here for a first down. They were showing the flags at the top of the stadium when the play was going on. Great job. But a first down for A&M from the 40-yard line. Reed hands off. Moss. He's got a yard, maybe 2. We reached 3 minutes to go in the first half. So 2nd and 6, 2:45 to go in the first half. So Reed going to look to throw. And a quick throw to the outside. That pass is caught by Mario Craver. Makes the guy miss. And he's out of bounds after getting about 4. So another third down here for Texas A&M. They have been decent on third down. Miami's been terrible, but they've been decent on third down. A few conversions. They're actually going to take this to 2-minute warning here. So 2 minutes left in the first half. The game is still scoreless. And a third down for Texas A&M upcoming. Hold on 1 second. Alright, but we still wait for them to come back at the 2-minute warning. A scoreless game. Alright, so the lowest scoring a college ball playoff game was a 30 points in total. And Alabama beat Clemson 24-6 in 2018. Wonder what that game was at halftime. At halftime, that game was 10-3. But at least they had some points. At this rate, I mean, neither team can make a field goal or score a touchdown. This game might actually be like 7-0 because somebody scores a touchdown in like the final minute. But we still wait for them to come back in a scoreless game at the 2-minute warning of the first half. It'll be a 3rd and 4 for Texas A&M. Give me 1 second. Alright. So we're back from commercial here. It's a 3rd and 4 from their own 46 for Texas A&M. Reed in shotgun back to his right. Marcel Reed going to look to throw. Steps up, throws underneath, and it's low and incomplete. Looking for E.J. Smith out of the backfield, who would have been close to a first down. But it's a bad throw from Marcel Reed. Smith can't catch it. And it's 4th down and another punt. Sure, I've seen a lot of those in the first half. So, this is kind of crazy. I thought this game was going to be what last night's game was. I thought we were going to see hardly any points scored last night. But instead, we see... How many points was combined is that? 58? 34 and 24? Yeah, 58 points combined last night. And we have 0 so far in the first half. Oh, they're going to fake the punt. It's a fake, and it's broken up. They try to throw it to one of the guys wound up on the outside, and it does not work out. A&M fakes the punt. Wow. I think they throw this too far downfield. I mean, it's actually not a terrible throw from the punter. But Miami, they defended that very well. And now they got the ball in great field position at the 46-yard line. So let's see what Miami can do here. They got a timeout and a minute 51 to work with. They'll start off on the ground with Mark Fletcher for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. .90 seconds left in the first half. Still all 3 timeouts for Texas A&M. 1 for Miami. 2nd and 7. Tony goes in motion. And here's another run play. Fletcher to the right side. This time he's going to lose yardage as he goes down for a loss of 2. And it brings up 3rd and 9. I think I call timeout right here from Texas A&M. They don't. The clock is still running. So maybe they're just content to take this to halftime. But I think I'd call a timeout. Because Miami's probably going to run the ball again here on 3rd down. And not really take a chance. And that will just take us to halftime. So it's 3rd and 8. Miami's still without a conversion on 3rd down. And prior to this 3rd down play, we got a timeout called by Texas A&M. But the play clock is winding down. So now A&M calls timeout. I would have done it, obviously, right after that 2nd down play. So we got 32 seconds left in the first half. The game is still scoreless. So it's 3rd and 8. 32 seconds. We'll have 1 timeout for Miami, 2 for Texas A&M. So Beck in shotgun, got it back to his right. Miami's 0 for 5 on 3rd down. They bring Tony in motion. Beck gonna look to throw. Beck has time. Lets one go. That is caught. Wow, I thought he was throwing to the other receiver based on what the camera guy did, but he got caught for a 1st down. Now the clock temporarily stops with 26 seconds to go. C.J. Daniels makes the catch for a gain of 14. And now Miami with the ball on the 30-yard line and the clock running. Beck looks to throw. Throws outside. That is juggled. Did he get the foot down? They're going to say yes. Gain of 7. Stops the clock with 10 seconds to go. Now, technically, they're in field goal range. Although, we saw what the kicker did the last time. How the ball just was taken by the wind. I think they might look at this one. Yeah, they're going to review this to see if this is a catch. He juggled it. He had a foot in bounds, but it depends when he got the possession of the ball. So it hits his hands. He doesn't catch it cleanly. He still doesn't have it. Then when he pins it to his body, he's got it. It's going to depend if he's got a foot in bounds or out of bounds, though. So he doesn't have it. There he's got it. Yeah, I think that's a catch. It was ruled a catch on the field. Too bad they don't have a camera on the official's hat, because he has the best look at this. Right down the sideline. I think that's a catch. They're still taking a look at it. Now they called it a catch. No, sorry, they ruled it incomplete on the field. Because they could just stick with the ruling on the field and say not enough to overturn it. But they originally ruled the catch, then after discussion, they ruled it incomplete. And the call is overturned. They're going to rule it as a catch. So that puts them with 10 seconds left in the first half. Say 2nd down and 2. Actually, they put a second back on the clock. Make it 11 seconds. So it's 2nd and 2, 11 seconds to go. They're inside field goal range at the 22-yard line. Though still not easy kicking with the wind. Beck gonna look to throw against the blitz. Takes a shot at the end zone. It's incomplete. Daniels, the intended target, never saw the ball until it was too late. So now it's 3rd and 2 with 7 seconds left. I would say just take another shot at the end zone, but with the way the wind is and kicking a field goal from here, you might just want to get as close as possible. So 3rd and 2. Beck looks to throw against a 4-man rush. Throws back, shoulder incomplete. Receiver was not looking for the ball. He just kept running downfield, and it's now 4th and 2. So here comes a field goal try for Miami to try to get points on the final play of the first half. They've already missed one. That was from 47. This one from 40. Again, this one's from the left hash. The wind is blowing from the left hash to the right hash. This one's from 40. And the kick is on the way. Oh my, this one's even worse. Not even close. And it stays scoreless at halftime. Man, that one was terrible. But it's still 0-0. Both teams attempt field goals. Miami misses 2. A&M misses 1. And it stays 0-0 here at halftime. First time we've ever seen a playoff game scoreless at the half. And Miami does get the ball to start the second half. But I'm going to go take a quick break, refill my water, use the bathroom. I'm also going to get lunch because I'm going to eat during halftime. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Finally. Sorry, that took forever. Because I had to get lunch, and I also just realized I got my shirt all wet. I don't even know how I did that. Alright, but I'm back. But it's a scoreless game at halftime. And hopefully we see some points scored at some point. Otherwise, we'll head to overtime. And it'll be 0-0. But as far as an updated score prediction goes, I originally said 27-21. There is no chance it's getting that high scoring. But let's see. As far as an updated score prediction does go, I will take Texas A&M. I really like the way their defense has been playing. And the offense moved the ball as well, just no points to show for it. So let's go Texas A&M as long as they can protect the football. That's the big thing with them. But let's go A&M, and we'll take them by a score of... I would like to predict field goals. I don't really think anyone's making one. Maybe Miami can make one if they get close, but A&M for sure isn't. So let's take... I don't know, 14-10? That sounds crazy, but... Let's go 14-10. Texas A&M. And we'll go over some stats from the first half, and then I gotta eat some lunch while they're at halftime. Although I'll still talk with you guys if you wanna. So we're not just sitting here in silence. I'll still be talking, but I'm gonna try to eat as well. For Miami, Carson Beck went 8 of 12 for 31 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. He averaged 2.6 yards per pass attempt. And Malachi Toney also attempted a pass, but he didn't complete it. On the ground for Miami, Mark Fletcher 7 carries for 40 yards, Malachi Toney 2 for 6. Elijah Lofton 1 for 4, and Carson Beck 2 for a loss of 12, both those sacks. Then receiving for Miami, C.J. Daniels 1 for 14, Lofton 1 for 9. Alex Bauman 2 catches for 7 yards, Keelan Marion 1 catch for 3 yards, and Malachi Toney 3 catches for a loss of a yard. Then for Texas A&M, Marcel Reed is 12 of 17 for 113 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions, although he did lose a fumble. And their punter also attempted a pass, but did not complete it. And then on the ground for A&M, they were pretty solid. 3.9 yards a carry isn't amazing, but it's decent considering the defense you're playing against. But Marcel Reed ran it 6 times for 39 yards, Ruben Owens 4 for 12, Le'Veon Moss 5 for 10, and E.J. Smith 1 for a yard. Then receiving for Texas A&M, Mario Craver 5 catches for 74 yards, including the big play, which is marked as a 59-yard gain, although I thought they said 69 before. Then the tight end, I have no idea to say the guy's name, 87, he's got a catch for 19. Ruben Owens is a catch for 7, Aston Bethel Roman a catch for 6, E.J. Smith 1 for 4, Terry Bussey 2 for 2, and Theo Mellon-Orstrom has 1 for a yard. And then I'll go over team stats in a second. Alright, here we go. Team stats. 8 first downs for Texas A&M, 4 for Miami. A&M 3 for 8 on third down. Miami's 1 for 7. A&M is also 0 for 1 on fourth down. That was the fake punt. And Miami has not attempted a fourth down. A&M outgaining Miami 175 to 69. And they got more passing yards and rushing yards. 113 to 31 passing, 62 to 38 rushing. 2 penalties, 10 yards against Texas A&M. Both those are false starts. And 1 penalty, 5 yards against Miami. And 1 turnover in the game. That was the fumble lost by Marcel Reed. And time possession 16:08 for Texas A&M, 13:52 for Miami. But a very low-scoring first half. I mean, really no score in the first half. But the second half should start in a little bit, so that gives me some time to eat. And I'll still talk with you guys, as I said. Not just going to sit here in silence. That'd be pretty weird. Although, eating on a stream is also kind of weird, but gotta eat sometime. But the winner of this game will face Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. That's on New Year's Eve. We already know Alabama's playing Indiana on New Year's Day in the Rose Bowl. And the two games we got later, Oregon and James Madison. That's tonight. And then after this game is Tulane and Ole Miss. I don't really think either game is close. I think I took Ole Miss 42-20, and I took Oregon 38-14, something like that. They show this graphic right now. Tulane is 5-0 in one-score games, but that could be a problem because this game probably not going to be one score. But, I mean, very low scoring so far. I mean, I wonder who the first team is to score and how they'll do it. Sorry, I hope you guys don't mind me trying to eat while we're at halftime. But, I was just going to say something. I'm not sure. Oh, I was just going to say, make sure to vote in the poll if you guys didn't already do so. So far, 52% have said Miami, 48% have said Texas A&M. And I also just thought of something else. I created a group for the bracket challenge on ESPN, and I said I was going to put it in the link to the description of my full playoff predictions video, and I never did that, so I'm going to go do that right now. The group is just called Super Sports Central, so if you want to join that, you can go search that on ESPN. So when we do that, give me 1 second. So I also just realized you guys can probably hear me chewing right into the mic, so that's probably annoying. So, sorry about that. I don't know if I can put the mic somewhere else so it's not as annoying. I'll try to lean back when I eat more so I'm not chomping directly into the mic, which is up here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So I'll lean back more. Last night, I believe the game was tied 17 at halftime. Today we also have a tie game at halftime, although a scoreless tie. Last night was, 17-17 at the half. Pretty crazy game. Alright, sorry I'm kind of just sitting here in silence. I don't have a ton to say. Kind of shared all my thoughts already. And trying to eat this before the second half starts, although definitely not going to be able to finish. But going to try to get as much as I can done, so I'm not eating a ton in the second half. But we will be starting the second half in a couple minutes. That's why I changed that. I think as soon as they come back from commercial, the second half's going to start. Because we've already been at halftime for about 20 minutes. So yeah, the second half is going to start right now. Or at least in a few seconds. I'm going to stick with my prediction of of Texas A&M. I took an updated score prediction 14-10. But we've seen 3 missed field goals, which is tied the most in a college ball playoff game. Miami has just 69 first half yards, which ties the fewest, or is the fewest, in a playoff game. And it's the first scoreless first half in a college ball playoff game. So Miami can get the ball first here in the second half. Although, the ball gets blown off the tee. And they're going to bring somebody out to hold it. But we start the third quarter. Miami will get the football in a scoreless game. So the kick is away. And fair caught at the goal line for a touchback. So Miami with the football here. Beck in shotgun. Fletcher is the back line to his left. That's right. Now Fletcher shifts to his right. So from the 25, Beck going to look to throw. And Beck throws the outside. That pass is caught for a first down. CJ Daniels makes the catch for a gain of 14. And that's something they need to do a lot more of. Success on first down, because they were terrible on first and second down. Leaving them to a lot of third and longs in the first half. But we got a first down from the 39. First down from the 39. Beck, another quick throw to the outside. And this one's caught. Spins away from defender. Gets inside A&M territory. Cuts back inside. And he's knocked down at the 40. So nice catch and run right there. Marion with the catch. And two nice plays to start the half for Miami. Here's the end around for, I'm not sure who that is, number 0. But A&M does a great job defending it. And he's going to lose about 3 on the play. So it'll bring up second and long. But we have seen Miami try to run their fair share of trick plays today. Even if they're not all technically trick plays. But they've gotten creative, but just a lot of it hasn't worked. So it's now second and 14. A&M defense today, 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. So an empty backfield for Carson Beck. 4 receivers bunched up to the right side. Beck throws to the left side. That pass is caught. And another broken tackle for a gain of about 11. Makes it third and much more manageable 3 as opposed to third and 14. Marion, again, the target. So it's third down and 4. They're going to hand it off here. Fletcher up the middle. Has a first down into the secondary. Fletcher taking it out at the 11-yard line. Big run for Mark Fletcher. And a first and goal for Miami. They finally got something going offensively. And they move the sticks on third down. For just the second time today. A good run from Mark Fletcher. And it sets him up first and goal. Actually, it might be first. No, it is first and goal. I was going to say, might be first and 10 from the 11. So it's first and goal from the 10. And we got a timeout called by Texas A&M. Trying to get everybody on the field. They had a guy running off the field. They just burned a timeout. 3 minutes into the third quarter. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. I'm going to try to eat during the commercial break, so I'm not talking a ton. And trying to eat while I'm talking during the actual game. So, 1 second. Hold on 1 second. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Alright, they're almost back from commercial. Alright, so here we go. It's a first and goal for Miami. They have had 65 total yards on this drive. They had just 69 total yards in the first half. So the sixth play of the drive upcoming, Beck motions out of the backfield. It's a direct snap to Malachi Tony, who runs it straight ahead, and Tony can pick up about 3, maybe 4 on the play. Brings up second goal from the 7, so they give him 3 on the first down carry. So second goal from the 7. Beck in shotgun back to his left. Beck gonna look to throw. Beck throws, end zone too high and complete. Behind his receiver as well. Looking for Marion, had a nice drive. Multiple catches. And it brings up third and goal. So third and goal. Carson Beck 3 of 4 on this drive for 45 yards. Big play right here. Miami has not been good on third down. Beck in shotgun back to his left. A&M brings 4. Beck steps up, gonna try to run, cutting back inside, he's short. And Carson Beck a little bit slow to get up. But a nice play to attack Carson Beck right there and keep him short of the goal line. And it's now 4th and goal, and Miami going to take the points. Now, you would think they would make this field goal, but you never know. We saw A&M have one blocked before. That was a short one. But Miami 0 for 2 on field goals. They've missed from 47 and 40. This one from 21, so you really don't have to worry about the wind as much. So 4th and goal. The kick is good, and we finally have points. 10 minutes and 34 seconds left in the third quarter. And we get the game's first points as Miami hits a 21-yard field goal on the opening drive of the third quarter. And they break a scoreless tie. So it finally happened. We saw somebody make a field goal and get points. At the rate it was going, I didn't think that happened until like the fourth quarter. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. That was a good drive for Miami. As they pretty much doubled the amount of total yards they had in the first half on that drive. As they went 72 yards in 9 plays, they only had 69 yards in the entire first half. So a good drive right there. And even though they're not able to score a touchdown, just getting points is progress for both teams. And now I'll have to see how Texas A&M responds. They trail for the first time today. Alright, so we're back from commercial. A&M will get the ball for their first possession here in the second half. 9 plays, 72-yard drive for Miami that took 4:26 off the clock. Resulted in a 21-yard field goal for Carter Davis, who's now 1 for 3 on the day. So Texas A&M will get the ball for their first possession here in the second half. They moved the ball somewhat effectively in the first half, just no points. And now Miami needs to use a guy to hold the football to kick it off because of the wind. So the kick is away. And it's going to be a touchback. And brought out to 25. So it's a 1st and 10 for Texas A&M at their own 25-yard line. And here's a jet sweep for Casey Concepcion. He gets it for maybe his first touch on offense of the game. But he's going to pick up about 9. He's been pretty quiet. And we got a Miami defender slow to get up. They're going to make him come out for a play. He tried to go or stay in there, but now he looks to be in some pain as he goes down on one knee. Hopefully he's okay. So you don't really see anything too unusual happen to him right there. He just makes a tackle, but obviously hopefully he's okay. Well, we got 10:21 to go in the third quarter. Hopefully he's okay. Still down on the field. Getting 10-2. Alright, he's able to get up and walk off the field. And they're going to take him to the locker room. So hopefully he's okay. I'm not sure who the injured player was, but that's number 7 for Miami. But hopefully he's okay as he heads to the locker room. But it's a 2nd and short here for Texas A&M. Reed, hands off. Moss fighting through contact and has a first down. Got 2 and moves the sticks. So 1st and 10, Reed looks to throw, gets pressured, backpedaling, and just flips this. That might be grounding. There was nobody in the area who's an eligible receiver. Unless I missed somebody here. I mean, his tight end's kind of in the area, although he's still trying to block. I'm not sure. But they rule... No, they are going to throw a flag for intentional grounding. So it's going to be a loss of down. So just like a sack. And a big loss there for Texas A&M. Reed throws the flat here. Le'Veon Moss makes the catch. Makes a couple guys miss and has about 5 yards. A decent pickup right there, but still 3rd and about 17. Intentional grounding is really a tough penalty because not only are you losing 10 plus yards, but you're also losing the down. Very similar to a sack. So 3rd and 17. Not an easy spot to be in. Marcel Reed today is 3 of 4 for 10 yards. From their own 29, Reed will look to throw. Reed has time, plenty of it. Now throws over the middle. It's too high and intercepted. It's picked off. Reed turns it over for the 2nd time today. And on the return, they're going to bring it back inside the 30 and he's knocked it out of bounds at the 22-yard line. That is a big interception by the Miami defense. And they're set up with great field position to potentially extend their lead. Reed had time, then threw up the seam. And this is just not a good throw. Yeah, that is a terrible throw. His receiver is running across the field, and he throws it up the field right to the defender. That's a bad interception right there from Marcel Reed. And let's see how Miami can take advantage of that. It's the 2nd turnover of the day for Marcel Reed, who's now fumbled and throwing a pick. Here's a trick play. They flip it back to Carson Beck, who's now going to step up and run, and Beck will slide after a gain of 3. That time they lined Beck out wide as a receiver, and then tried a trick play. Didn't work though. So it's 2nd and 8. Here is a handoff up the middle for about a yard, not much space. And it brings up 3rd down and about 7 here for Miami. So 3rd and 7, almost halfway through the 3rd quarter. Beck in shotgun. Tony. No, I don't think that's Tony. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. Beck makes a check at the line. On 3rd downs, he's 3 of 5, 17 yards. He's thrown for 1 first down. This is a 3rd and 7 from the 17. Beck looks to throw, has time, throws, incomplete. Got knocked down by one of the linebackers who had a chance to pick it off. But it brings up a 4th and 7. And here's going to be a field goal try for Miami. Also, I just realized I never changed this ball marker. Back to Miami after the turnover. But the A&M defense gets a stop. A 35-yard field goal. They've missed from 40 and 47, made from 21. Not an easy one. This kick is... Oh, he missed it! He missed it again! This one doinks off the left upright, and it's no good. That is the 3rd missed field goal of this game for Carter Davis. The 4th for the two teams combined, and it stays 3-0. Wow. I mean, this one looked good. Looked like he calculated for the wind. It started off far to the left, drifted back inside, but then it went back left and hit the upright and was no good. So the A&M defense not only gets a stop, but holds them to 0 points after the turnover. No, I'm eating lunch here. I got a big salad. Yeah, I know it's definitely not great to eat on a stream, but I gotta find a way to eat somehow, so if I want to stream, I gotta eat some at some point. I'm almost done eating. Trying to finish up as much as I can while they're at commercial. So they're back from commercial. Miami kicker Carter Davis is the first player to miss 3 field goal attempts in a college ball playoff game. He's now 1 for 4. Made 21, missed 40, 47, and 35. A&M has also missed a field goal. Theirs got blocked from 21. There's 22 maybe. But a short field goal. So 7:13 to go in the third quarter. And A&M starts to drive the handoff up the middle to Ruben Owens for getting about 3. So 2nd and 7. Miami, 144 total yards. Texas A&M, 182. Reed in shotgun back to his right. Reed hands off up the middle. Owens, and he's got a pretty solid run. About 6 yards. I'm going to go to tissue. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. So it's a 3rd and 1. Reed can hand it off up the middle, first down. Le'Veon Moss moves the sticks, got about 2 yards. And they extend the drive. Man, hopefully he's okay. Le'Veon Moss goes limping to the sideline. Hopefully he's okay. Reed, off play action, rolling right, on the run. Reed tries to make a guy miss, but can't, and he's taken down for a loss of a yard. Number 0, Scott makes the tackle for loss, and it's 2nd and 11. So 2nd and 11 here for Texas A&M. From the 31-yard line, Reed in shotgun back to his right. They'll just get the play off, and Reed going to look to throw. Steps up, rolls left, and Reed throws the flat for KC Concepcion. He's out of bounds. After a gain of 7, then that's thrown down. A&M wants a flag. Mike Elko's really upset about that. Kind of surprised there wasn't a flag right there. So 3rd and 4. Reed going to look to throw, roll left, on the run. Reed now throws incomplete. So it's now 4th and 4, and the rules expert agrees that should have been a flag. So it's now 4th and 4, and going to be another punt here for Texas A&M. We've seen them punt it a lot. They faked one before. Here on 4th and 4, they will punt it away. And it's fielded by Tony at the 17. And Malachi Tony brings it back to the 31. So pretty good return, about 14 yards. And Miami takes over up by 3 with 3:33 to go in the third quarter. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Trying to finish up lunch while they're at commercial. Results in the poll still 50-50. Be sure to vote if you guys have not already done so. Alright, so Miami gets the ball back here at the 30-ish yard line. Might be spotted at the 31. Let's see what they can do for this next drive. Carter Davis missed 3 field goals today. It's most by a Miami kicker since 2012. Fletcher breaks a tackle. Still going. First down for Mark Fletcher. Again, of 13 on first down. Nice run right there. Saw Miami with a great drive on their first drive of the third quarter, where they got the only points of the game. Then last drive, they were given great field position, didn't do anything with it, and missed another field goal. Mark Fletcher today 9 carries for 77 yards, averaging 8.6 yards a carry. Run the ball really effectively. They go back to him here. Fletcher this time gained just a yard. Not much space. So a second and about 9 here for Miami. And we got 2:32 to go in the third quarter. Some kind of delay here, I'm not sure what. Oh, there was an injured player down for Texas A&M. Hopefully he's okay. And Le'Veon Moss also headed to the locker room for Texas A&M. So hopefully he's okay as well. So it's a second and about 9 here for Miami. We got 2:25 to go in the third quarter. Beck in shotgun, Fletcher to his left. Throw to the outside is bobbled but caught, and I'll make a guy miss and gain about 3. So 3rd and 5. Handoff right side for Fletcher, who's going to break through initial contact. But he's taken down short of a first down. He got 3. But Miami could go for this here on 4th and short. And based on that play call, I would think they're going to go for it. Looks like they're actually going to send on the punt team. I thought they'd go for it based on that run call right there. But they're going to punt it away. I mean, I do get it. Your defense is playing extremely well. So I can get that. But they'll take it away again here as the play clock winds down. And now it's 4th and 7. They'll kick it away with 48 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So Miami punts it away. Terry Bussey calls for a fair catch at the 17-yard line. And that is where A&M will take over with 33 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So it's a 1st and 10, 33 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So a 3-0 Miami lead from the 16. Reed fakes it to the back, now rolls to his right. Reed spun around, and Reed gets sacked. Back at the 6-yard line, Ruben Bain. A lot of running there for Marcel Reed. He ends up running right into Ruben Bain, and it's a sack, and that probably will take us to the 4th quarter. But Reed starts to go to his right. But then he gets spun around and tries to go back to his left. He just runs right into Ruben Bain. So it's 3-0 as we enter the 4th quarter. The 3rd quarter comes to a close in a defensive battle. Definitely did not expect this game to be this low scoring. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial as we enter the 4th quarter. I'm almost done with my lunch. Definitely takes a while to eat when you're trying to talk in the middle of it. But Hope you guys don't mind. Thought I might have just splashed on my shirt, but luckily not. Alright, so we're back here. We start the fourth quarter. Still a 3-0 game. Miami up by 3 in a defensive battle. So Reed in shotgun with the back to his left. They get the ball on the 7-yard line on 2nd and 18. Reed throws underneath. That pass is caught by Ashton Bethel-Roman. And he's got a nice pick of about 15 yards right there. And makes a much more manageable 3rd down. So it takes him from a 2nd and 18 to a 3rd and 3. To a 3rd and 3. Reed will look to throw. Reed gets pressured. Reed steps up. Reed throws the outside. It is caught for a 1st down. Bethel-Roman again as he moves the sticks to the 36-yard line. And a nice conversion right there for Texas A&M. Reed rolling right here. And we'll just run for a gain of about 3. Escaping the rush. To make it 2nd and about 7. So Reed in shotgun. Owens is the back line to his left. Reed hands off. Concepcion in the jet sweep. And he cuts up the middle and picks up another 2, maybe 3 yards. So it's 3rd and 5. Reed in shotgun back to his right. Play clock winding down here. They'll just get the play off. Miami brings 4. Quick throw to the outside for Craver. Craver makes the guy miss. And he's very close to a 1st down. They're going to give it to him. 1st down, Texas A&M. He got 6, needed 5. And Mario Craver moves to 6. So a 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. And they're going to go to the ground here. E.J. Smith right up the middle for, again, about 2, maybe 3. Here's a throw to the flat for KC Concepcion. And he's out of bounds after a gain of about 5. So it's 3rd and about 3 right here. Marcel Reed on 3rd down today. 5 of 8, 29 yards, and an interception. 2 first downs. Oh, man, the center gets run over here. I'm not sure who this is against. It's offsides going against Miami. So it's a first down for Texas A&M as a result of penalty. Yeah, that is definitely a defensive penalty. Nobody on the offense moves. So 1st and 10 from the 41. Reed off play action. Steps up, rolls right. Reed on the run. Throws downfield. Open receiver Concepcion to the 20 if he caught that. They're going to say he did. It was a low throw from Marcel Reed. But KC Concepcion able to make the catch. And I think they might want to take a look at this one. Yeah, they're going to stop play and review it. If this is a better throw from Marcel Reed, and he can hit him, not even in stride, but just hit him while he's still standing, he's got space for potential yards after the catch as well. Oh, that's going to be incomplete. Yeah, the ball hits the ground. That's not going to be a catch. So wipe off the nice pickup. And I'm almost done with lunch. I just got to go get something else. So I'll be right back. Give me like 2 seconds. Alright. But we wait for them to come back from commercial as they review this play. This review probably shouldn't take that long, considering this is very clearly incomplete. And it also shouldn't take me that long to finish this, so I'm almost done with lunch. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. So after this ends up being incomplete, it'll be a... oh, what down is it going to be? 2nd? Why can I not remember what down it was? I'll look it up. Yeah, it was 2nd and 10. So it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 here from the 41-yard line for Texas A&M. So Reed throws to the outside quickly, but a wide, inaccurate throw, and it's incomplete. Looking for Casey Concepcion. And it brings up 3rd and 10. So we got 10:35 to go. 3rd and 10. Got to be thinking 4-down territory here for Texas A&M. So you would think by the play they'd call here, they'd have 2 plays to get it. So 3rd and 10. A&M 3 of 5 on 3rd down here in the second half. Reed and shotgun back to his left. Play clock winding down. They'll just get the play off. Reed throws underneath. Call Bethel Roman. Gonna get a 1st down. Ashton Bethel Roman gains 10 and moves the sticks to the 31-yard line. A nice throw and catch. And A&M moves the sticks. So we got Reed and shotgun. Owens is the back line to his right. And we got play stopped again. They're going to review this again. They want to see if he got the 1st down. I'm pretty sure he did. So he's got to get to the 31. Makes the catch to the 33. Yeah, he gets there. They ruled it a 1st down. This should stand. Here's the view right down the line. They zoom it in. Yeah, he gets there. That's a 1st down. But this one should stand. He definitely gets to the 31-yard line. So the ruling's upheld. So it's a 1st down. So it's a 1st and 10 for Texas A&M. They convert on a 3rd and 10. Down by 3. 10 minutes, 11 seconds to go. So Reed and shotgun back to his right. 10 minutes to go. Reed looks to throw. Reed throws the flat. It's caught by Craver. And Mario Craver spins his way for a 1st down. Bounces off another tackler and gains 12. A nice pickup right there. We got an injured player down from Miami, one of their linemen. Hopefully he's okay. Mario Craver closing in on 100 yards, 7 catches for 92 yards. 917 yards on the season. Hopefully the injured player is okay. He's still down on the field here. But they'll go to commercial and take a time off the injured player. I was hopeful he's okay. Couldn't tell who it was, but I just never want to see him get hurt. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Now you wonder what Texas A&M would do in a situation where they get to a 4th down. They're terrible at kicking field goals, but do you try to tie the game or do you go for it? I think I might go for it, but I'm not sure. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. So back from commercial here. A 1st down here for Texas A&M. We'll have to see what they can do. So 1st down here for A&M. From the 19, Reed looks to throw. Reed gets sacked. Marcel Reed loses 3, maybe 4 on the play. And it brings up 2nd and about 14. It's their first red zone trip. No, sorry, the 2nd red zone trip today for Texas A&M. The first one, they missed a field goal. Had it blocked. That was early in the 1st quarter. Now this time, we'll see what they can do, but Reed gets sacked on 1st down. So it's 2nd and 13 from the 22-yard line. Reed in shotgun back to his right. They bring a receiver in motion. That's Ashton Bethel Roman. Reed going to hand it off up the middle. Pretty solid run, about 5 yards. Maybe got a 6th yard right there. It was E.J. Smith with the carry, who got 5. So it's 3rd and 8. It's an interesting decision upcoming for A&M if they kick a field goal or not. If they get the 4th down. So Reed in shotgun back to his right. Reed looks to throw. Underneath, they set up the screen for the tight end who bobbles it, and it's going to be incomplete. He never actually caught the ball. They were trying to just throw something safe, see what happened, but you got to catch the ball. So let's see, 4th down and 8. And it's going to be a field goal try for Texas A&M. Randy Bond, the other kicker they have, not the guy who had one blocked before. 61% on the season. This is a huge one. And the kick for Bond is good, right down the middle. And Texas A&M ties it up with 8:03 to go in the fourth quarter. A great kick right there for Randy Bond. And we're tied up at 3. How about that? 3-3 with 8:03 to go in the fourth quarter. I don't think anyone saw this type of game coming. But Bond with a huge kick. Right down the middle. And they tie it up. Alright, I've also finally finished lunch. Only took us like an hour and 15 minutes to eat it, but finally finished. I guess that's the good news. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. A 3-point game, or sorry, a 3-3 game, and we'll see how Miami responds. As they now allow it's the first points they've allowed. We got 8:03 to go in the fourth quarter. At this rate, we might head to overtime tied at 3. Like, I really don't think that would be too unrealistic. Carson Beck has thrown for 80 yards. Marcel Reed has thrown for 186. And Texas A&M outgaining Miami 255 to 164. But a couple turnovers and just a lot of good defense. Holy cow, that was a long drive. I did not realize Texas A&M took 16 plays. They went 67 yards and took, what do we have, a quarter off the clock? 7.5 minutes. But that is easily the longest drive for Texas A&M. It's once again the ball gets blown off the tee. So Bond on to kick it off after just made a field goal to tie the game. 8:03 to go in the fourth quarter. And the kick for Bond is away. And it's going to be a touchback. So it's going to come out to the 25-yard line. And let's see how Miami's offense responds. Game tied at 3. 8 minutes to go. Oh, Bond actually kicked the laces of the football right there. It was not a good job spinning the ball around. But a good job by Bond to still be able to make that kick. We have an offsides penalty on the kickoff right here. A&M ended up being offsides. So they'll re-kick back up 5 yards. So they'll not be kicking off from the 35. Sorry, the 30 instead of the 35. And we might see an opportunity for Miami to have an opportunity to return it right here. So the kick is away, and this one goes even further into the end zone for another touchback. So 8:03 to go in the fourth quarter. Game tied at 3. Carson Beck today, 12 of 18, 80 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. At this rate, I'm starting to wonder if we're going to see a touchdown scored in this game. So Beck in shotgun. Fletcher wound up behind him. And they're going to hand it off to Mark Fletcher up the middle. Fletcher gets a seam, has a first down. Mark Fletcher dragging a defender for 16 yards. Mark Fletcher nearing 100 yards rushing on just 12 carries. 12 for 97, that's 8.1 yards per attempt. And he's run the ball really well. Miami hasn't run the ball much. But when they've given it to Mark Fletcher, he's done a good job. Great blocking up front on that play. So a 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Beck in the pistol. They bring Malachi Toney in motion. Beck off play action, throws over the middle. It is going to be caught by Toney. And oh, the ball came out. It's a fumble. A&M football. Wow, Toney fumbles. And Texas A&M has the ball at the 47-yard line. With 7 minutes and 11 seconds to go, Malachi Toney loses the football, and A&M takes over with great field position. Wow. It is definitely a catch and a fumble. It's the first turnover of the game for Miami, and it could not come at a bigger time. So a 1st and 10 from the 47 here for Texas A&M. They'll start off on the ground and will not find anything for no gain. So it's a 2nd and 10, 6:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Reed in shotgun back to his right. They bring Concepcion across the formation. Reed looks to throw. Reed throws underneath. That pass can be caught by Terry Bussey, and he'll gain 9 yards. No, he gets pushed for a few extra. We'll actually give him like 11 or 12. Reed looks to throw. Reed trying to step up and scramble, but he's dropped for another sack. So it's going to be a loss of a yard, make it 2nd and 11. So 2nd and 11. Reed in shotgun back to his right. Reed pulls us in the option, going to cut up the middle. Two defenders collide with each other, and Reed picks up about 5. So it's 3rd down and 6. Reed in shotgun. E.J. Smith is the back line to his left. 4:45 to go. Reed, low snap. Gonna look to throw. Reed, pocket collapsing. Flag comes down. The defender got his helmet ripped off. And Reed gonna get taken down for another sack. So it's going to be hands to the face against Texas A&M, but they decline the penalty. So it's now 4th and 9, and this is going to be a punt here for Texas A&M. No, wait a minute. The offense is still on the field. Are they actually going to go for this? Reed's in shotgun, Smith to his left. They might just take it away, give their punters some more space. I would not go for this. I'm punting this ball away. Play clock winding down. And it's at 0. So they will take the delay game penalty. So Miami will get it back. Game tied at 3. So 4th and 9. A&M will punt. The penalty actually got declined by Miami. And this is a kick going to be fielded by Tony on the bounce. Breaks a tackle. Tony getting to the outside. Almost able to break another tackle, but he's knocked down at the 14-yard line. So 1st and 10, 4:02 to go in the 4th quarter. And Miami not great field position at their own 14-yard line. So 4:02 to go. So 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Bring a receiver across the formation. And here's a handoff up the middle for Fletcher. Fletcher breaking through the line of scrimmage. Still going. Fletcher into the secondary. Inside A&M territory. Fighting off a defender. And Mark Fletcher down to the 32-yard line. Huge run for Mark Fletcher. And he is well over 100 yards on the day. He's run the ball so effectively. He's run it now 13 times for 153 yards. And that is a huge, huge play. Wow, what a run. So it's a 1st and 10 now on the 30-yard line. Beck in the pistol. And I'll turn around and hand off to Fletcher again. This time he's wrapped up for a gain of about 2. So it's 2nd and 8. Here's a handoff. Fletcher again. Up the middle. Fletcher getting to the secondary again. Another 1st down. Gain of 11. He's now up to 167 yards rushing. And Miami's going to take this down at the 2-minute warning. So we're going to reach the 2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. I mean, if you're Miami, you still probably don't want this game to come down to a field goal, considering they've missed 3 of them. But 2-minute warning here. Game's still tied at 3. We might not see a touchdown scored. That would be crazy. Especially with both offenses being pretty good. I mean, A&M is scoring over 36 points a game. Miami is scoring, I believe, 31 or so points a game. Like, both offenses are good, but both defenses have absolutely dominated. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. And we'll see how this game ends. I mean, if it comes down to a field goal, you never know. Because we've seen lots of missed field goals today. So there could definitely be another. Hold on 1 second. Just checking something real quick. Alright, but we still wait for them to come back. Game tied at 3. 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Texas A&M has 2 timeouts. Miami with 1, I believe. Alright, so they're back from commercial here. 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Game still tied at 3. Miami with the ball inside Texas A&M territory. Mark Fletcher's run for career high 167 yards on 15 attempts. So 1st and 10 from the 16. Beck in the pistol, Fletcher behind him. And Fletcher gets the carry here straight ahead. And Mark Fletcher going to pick up about 3. And there's a timeout for Texas A&M. That's their second. I'm sorry, I said before Miami has 1. They have all 3. So it's 2nd and 7. With 1:55 to go. For Fletcher, it's his 4th game with at least 100 yards this season. Which is the most by a Miami player since 2016. So 2nd and 7. Beck in shotgun back to his left. They give it to Fletcher again. And Fletcher gained about 2. And there's the 3rd and final timeout for Texas A&M. It comes with 1:50 to go. Minute 50 left. Miami still has all 3 timeouts. It's a 3rd and 5. If you get the first down, you can pretty much kick a game-winning field goal as time expires. Assuming you make it. But if not, you gotta kick it right here. Although it still should be made because it's a makeable field goal. But they've missed 3. The first one was taken by the wind. The second one was never even close. And then the third one doinked off the left upright. Although all 3 of those were going the other way. They have not attempted a field goal going the way they're going right now. At least I don't think. Because aren't you going the same way for the second quarter and the fourth quarter? And if you missed one right before halftime, maybe that's not true. But 3rd and 5. Beck in shotgun, back to his right. They bring Malachi Tony in motion, and they hand it to him on the jet sweep. Tony trying to turn the corner. He does, and he's in. Touchdown, Miami. Finally a touchdown in the game. Malachi Tony. He fumbled before. Now he scores the game's first touchdown, and he puts Miami up by a touchdown with 1:44 to go. A really nice play by Miami right there. Everyone's expecting a run up the middle. And they hand it off to Malachi Tony. And he scores a touchdown. And here is an extra point for Miami. Obviously, they've struggled kicking. But obviously, all extra points should be made. And the extra point is good. So a 10-3 game, 1:44 to go. And now A&M needs to go down the field and score a touchdown. That's something they have not done all day. But we just saw Miami do it. Something they have not done all day. So maybe they can do it. So Miami gonna get it, or sorry, Texas A&M gonna get it back here, down by 7. Minute 44 to go, not out of it. One score game. Oh, they are out of timeouts. Malachi Tony with his 8th receiving touchdown of the year, tied for the most among freshmen. Now they did leave a lot of time left on the clock. Minute 44, minute 44, no timeouts, but still plenty of time for Marcel Reed and Texas A&M offense to go put a drive together and tie the game. So the kick is away, and it goes through the end zone for a touchback. Will be brought out to the 25-yard line. So let's see. 2-minute drive here for Texas A&M. Got to go down the field. 75 yards to tie the game. Ruben Bain has 3 sacks today. Got to make sure you walk him. Reed. Pressured. Throws the flat for E.J. Smith. Makes the guy miss, and he gets out of bounds. Wow. What an effort to get out of bounds and stop the clock. But you don't want to take sacks here from Marcel Reed, because that takes a lot of time off the clock. There's no timeouts left. So it's 2nd down and 5. Reed and shotgun, Smith to his left. Reed, quick throw outside, caught. First down for Concepcion, he gains 6 and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Well, now there's a flag on the play. See, the official's discussing it. Oh, it's roughing the passer. That's a huge penalty right there. Because that gives him 15. Let's see this one. That is roughing the passer? There's no way that's roughing the passer. Marcel Reed does a really good job selling that one, but that's not roughing the passer. So 1st and 10, Reed throws over the middle. Oh man, almost picked but caught. And a gain of 14 on the play, stopping the clock with 1:23 to go. I thought that got picked. I did not see it get past the defender. So weak, yeah, I agree. So from the 34-yard line, Reed steps up. Reed going to run it here. Reed is going to dive ahead. Does not get the first down, so the clock will run. It's going to be 2nd and short for A&M. So Reed and shotgun back to his right. From the 25. Reed looks to throw. Reed throws outside. It is dropped. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Craver, who couldn't hang on through the contact. So it makes it 3rd and 1. With 53 seconds left. So 3rd and 1. A&M 7 of 16 on 3rd down. They're going to hand it off here. Smith up the middle. Has a first down to the 19-yard line. And that will temporarily stop the clock with 49 seconds left. Now the clock resumes running. Reed and shotgun will look to throw. Reed steps up, throws underneath, caught. Concepcion trying to get to the goal line. He's going to go out of bounds short at the 4-yard line. If he really tried, he might have been able to get there. But Casey Concepcion gets him down to the 4-yard line with 39 seconds left. Sets him up first and goal. It's been a great drive for Texas A&M so far, looking to get their first touchdown of the game. So an empty backfield for Marcel Reed. The ball spotted on the 5-yard line with 39 seconds left. Reed looks to throw. First read taken away. Throws back to the end zone. Caught. Was he in bounds? No. Craver caught it out of the back of the end zone. And it's second and goal with 33 seconds left. Yeah, he's definitely out of bounds. So Reed and shotgun back to his left. Second and goal here from the 5. Owens now the back. Reed looks to throw. Dancing around, throws. It is broken up, trying to get to Ruben Owens out of the backfield. But it's broken up, brings up third and goal. And an injured player down for Miami. And Ruben Owens also shaken up after that one. Hopefully both guys are okay. I mean, this is a huge collision at the goal line. And hopefully he's okay. But the incompletion stops the clock with 28 seconds to go. And it's third and goal for Texas A&M. But he'll make it to his feet. And he'll go jogging off the field, so hopefully he's okay. We'll definitely look at him for concussion after that hit. So it's a third and goal. From the 5-yard line. Reed in shotgun. Smith is the back to his right. Reed looks to throw. Throws. End zone. Intercepted! Picked off! And Miami's going to win it! Marcel Reed threw it behind the receiver. And it got picked off. And Miami's going to win it 10-3. Wow. He's trying to find Ashton Bethel Roman up the seam. And he gets picked off. Wow. After an 11-0 start for Texas A&M, they're going to lose their final 2 games and be a first-round exit in the playoffs. I mean, I see what Marcel Reed's trying to do, but he's either late on the throw or throws it way too far behind him. The final score 10-3. And after seeing 0 road teams winning the first round last year. We have seen both road teams winning the first round so far this year. The final score 10-3. Miami wins a defensive battle. And they win their first game in the college football playoff. But it was a great drive for Texas A&M. But then Reed threw the pick in the end zone, which sealed the game, obviously. The final score is 10-3. Ended up being a very low-scoring game. So, Wendy, why would you throw such a deep pass to the end zone? I mean, I don't really think the wind would have affected that pass that much. It wasn't that far, but I mean, definitely could have played a role. But I mean, that just was not a good throw from Marcel Reed. He either needed to throw that earlier, probably earlier, or more up the field. But it was the third turnover of the game from Marcel Reed. He lost a fumble through 2 picks. And that's pretty much the difference. A&M also could not stop the run, as Mark Fletcher ran for 172. But a low-scoring game, final score 10-3. And Miami will face Ohio State in the second round. Next game up, we got Ole Miss and Tulane. I wonder if that game's kicked off yet. Probably not. No, they'll kick off in a few minutes. But I will not be streaming that game. Or the game tonight. I got somewhere I gotta go in a few minutes. So, yes, but I did take I took Ole Miss and Oregon to win the games tonight. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end today's stream. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be live tomorrow for Sunday Night Football, Monday for Monday Night Football, and all the other playoff games after today. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like this stream, subscribe, turn on notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video.